Hello and welcome back. Now that we have the user service running with the buyer and the sellers features, and we also added them to the gateway service, we want to test them out to see that the seeding it actually works. Okay, so the first thing I've done was to delete everything or remove everything from my MySQL database. And how did I do that? In my auth service models, I just set false to true and then saved, and then once the server restarted, I removed it and saved again. Okay, so that will just drop the table. Okay, so remember that once when we create a new seller or a new user, it sends or publishes a message to the user service. Okay, we're going to see that. And then make sure you have all your services running. So I have API gateway, notification. I have also the auth service and the users service. Okay. So now I'll go to API calls file. I'll go to auth. Okay. So here, what I want to do is I want to create a user first. Okay. Because we are going to need this user before we seed. Okay. So I'll just create this user right here. Okay, so this user is created. Okay, if I come here, we should see data. I have one user. So go ahead and create a user first. Okay, and now I'll go to my seed.http. Okay, now this is the HTTP request we need to send in order to seed auth users. So I'm going to try to seed some auth users. Okay, so click send. Okay, so we have users created, and now let's check our queues. Okay, the queues, they are empty. Okay, so but we have the buyer queue is empty right now. So let's check if the users were sent to it says buyer details sent to buyer service. Let's check if the users were actually saved in MongoDB. Okay, so I'm using MongoDB Compass. Okay, so if you can install MongoDB Compass, you can search for it. Okay, or if you have another tool, or I think you can also use. I think you can use this connection here, like here. I think there's this option for MongoDB. Okay, name and then your MongoDB URL. Okay, so you can try this. If you already have Table Plus, then there is no need to install MongoDB Compass. I'm using MongoDB Compass because I already have it on my machine. Okay, that is why I'm using MongoDB Compass. But if you don't have that, but you have Table Plus, you can try. Okay, so the URL, they gave you an example right here. So MongoDB:/localhost:27017/ then your database name. Okay, so you can try this one and then test. If it works, then your connection succeeded. Okay, but if you also have MongoDB Compass, you can use it as well. Okay, so this is the part. Okay, I will just click connect, and then we should see different databases. I think let me just delete. You know what, I will delete everything. Okay, so I deleted the other databases. Okay, they were just old databases. And now this is the one. After creating the auth users, it created these Jobber users. Now we can check. Now you can see we have a buyer collection. And if I open it, here you can see we have 11 documents. Here also in MySQL, you can see we have 11 documents right here. Okay. And also in the buyer database, we have 11 documents. So what this means is the messages were successfully published and then used in the users service. Okay, so you can see now we can create users, and then they will automatically create buyers and add them to the buyers database. Okay, so we have that. Now the next thing is we want to before we seed sellers or create sellers, I think we will need to log in. But first, let me duplicate this. Okay, and this is going to be seller/seed/count. Okay, so seller/seed/count, and I think here I will need to remove this. Okay, so I'll need to remove this, and then here I'm going to add auth. Okay, so this is going to be for the authentication, seeding the authentication. This will be for seeding the seller. And now let me try to you need to log in at least one user. Okay, so I'm going to log in this user. Okay, the user is logged in, and now let me seed the seller. Hope that we don't get any issues. If we do, we'll try to fix it. Okay, so let's see, 200. Okay, so it was successful. And now let me reload this. Now you can see we have sellers, and you can see 10 sellers have been created. Okay, so we now have the sellers data in our database. Okay, so we can test if we deploy our application, or we have front-end application and we want to test using this seeding route, will make much sense for us. Okay, so we can use this to seed and have data. Okay, so right here we have been able to seed users, create users, and create buyers as well. We are able to create sellers, as you can see right here. So our seeding is working, our services are working, the API gateway is working, because we make the request from the API gateway to the auth service, and the auth service is working. It receives requests from the API gateway. Okay, so here email was sent. Yeah, we did not specify, so we cannot see the actual emails. So no error here, no error, and there are no errors in the console. So our services are all working as expected.